Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. I hope you guys are doing well. Cindy is busy doing Vedic charts, and she does keep busy with those. I want to thank Mana, too, who sent some photographs in of the wildfires in the Tucson area that we will share in a second. And, here you see, we had talked about this a lot in the past. In case you guys missed it, PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, pleaded guilty to 84 felony counts of involuntary manslaughter in the 2018 wildfire that wiped out the North Carolina town of Paradise. And so PG&E agreed to pay a maximum fine of $3.5 million. 84 felony counts of involuntary manslaughter. And again, who owns PG&E? In case you guys don't know, the family name begins with an R, and it has childs in it. So, yeah, And we've talked about that at length. So we want to send our prayers and best wishes to those families again. It seems like, it just doesn't seem like that is quite enough, and what could be enough. So I just wanted to show you guys some photos that were sent in by Mana, and this again is the fire going on in Tucson. And of course we are heading into that wildfire season, and we talked about this severe drought that's going on in the Southwest. And while we have drought in some places, we have chaos with water in others. Flash floods destroy 100 homes, leaving 3 people dead or missing in parts of Nigeria, as the infrastructure just getting washed away and wiped away. Very, very sad situation. 100 houses destroyed in this one area here, and I mean, look at that, just collapsing on in. The power of water. And I feel we are really going into another phase now. As I said before, everything changed in the world August of 2017. And it's going to a completely new level. And the chaos and the destruction from the earth changes. It's again adding to this perfect storm, this symphony of destruction coming from so many different ways, and it's all adding up into a case of a lot of people becoming migrants and homeless, and also massive food shortages that are coming and starting to take hold. Massive hailstorm hits northeastern Spain, expected to drastically affect European stone fruit season. And the worst affected areas are listed there, and they represent about half of the production, in some cases, of the stone fruits, which some of those that were really badly hit include nectarines, flat peaches, and regular peaches as well. Thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of acres affected, and there's some video of the hail coming down. And we've seen, hail that could kill you coming down in some areas, and it's going to keep increasing as we go deeper into the grand solar minimum and the magnetic pole reversal, because both of those things affect our magnetosphere. So, and that all affects our weather. 8.5 million people affected, 63 killed, intense downpours are pounding southern China. Some areas in China have massive drought as well. And China and the United States are almost the exact same size as far as the amount of land area. And so we see the worsening floods have displaced nearly 500,000. Huge economic loss, and of course, also the food situation. And in times like these, in the past, it often leads to war as countries and peoples compete for what's left as far as natural resources. Mekong River Commission urges more transparency after record low water levels. We had seen before that water release in China that had devastating effect as well. And in their system, who Who really answers to who? I mean, you have a dictator for life situation going on there. And the volcanoes are getting more active. We have new activity at 4 volcanoes this week, ongoing activity for 15 other ones. And here we see Chinese volcano thought to be extinct. Well, no, it's recharging its 2 huge magma chambers for eruption. And so, yeah, again, as we had said, now, these times that we're heading into, we're going to be seeing ones that have been perhaps inactive for very long periods of time, just waking up. And all this is going to add to, eventually, serious cooling on the planet, which cooling is actually worse for the food situation than the heating, of course. There's the Goldilocks effect where we want it to be just right. But here, you see here this picture of the volcano, and the researchers say they discovered 2 huge magma chambers under Way Mountain, last erupted 500,000 years ago. So, is it building? Will it erupt again? And their modeling suggests that the chambers dwarf the volcano, which is 100 meters tall and 3.1 miles wide. So basically 328 feet tall, 3.1 miles wide. And it was a surprise discovery. This thing hasn't erupted for 500,000 years. Now, geologists have been more focused on Changbai to the south, and that erupted in 946 AD. And there's something else, I'm going to have to look that up about that date. And that was one of the most powerful volcanic events ever recorded. So we see seismic activity increasing in Grindavik, and deformation data shows new signs of inflation. And this is Iceland. We were talking about the activity and all the quakes. Something is building there as well. And it's not the only spot. We see here, we had talked about Germany and this volcano, and now they got a new video that shows it filled with water and the lake is bubbling. This is in Germany. Is the Caldera awakening? Whew. Yeah, everywhere you look. Interesting times. We have this one over here at 4.5, and of course my eyes are always kind of fixated on this area, Cascadia. As we get deeper in, eventually, we know the potential. Eventually it's going to go. It's just a matter of timing. Maybe it won't be in our lives, but at the same time, look at what we're finding happening all over the globe. And we've had so much swarming activity. A little bit, it's down a little bit today. If we look at, for instance, over here, west of Tonopah, into Mono Lake and Mammoth Lake area, only 122. So that's, out of 400, it's still significant. At the moment, though, it's a little bit less than it's normally been. And we only got 23 in Ridgecrest as far as quakes right now, or perhaps underground activities. And, this is a massive base. And undoubtedly, there's a lot going on under the surface. And then, of course, Nellis is a huge base with, Area 51, as well as others going on there. This whole area, as we see another base, there's a reason why they're there. There is a reason why they're there. They don't want our hidden history getting to the surface. Radioactive material over Europe. So this was that mysterious emission of nuclear radiation. And they say it was from civilian nuclear activities, i.e., power plants, not the military. People had speculated this was something going on with the military. Maybe even this was something that was more nefarious, as well. So this moved across Europe in 2017, and they're saying it didn't come from military sources, but rather from civilian nuclear activities. So all that gets me thinking about what we got going on. And, we have so many nuclear power plants in the U.S. I think it might be time to go through that and do another video on that to update you guys. It's been a couple of years. Just be aware where they're at. Because if we do, get a situation with the sun, like a CME or an EMP, if we do end up in a war scenario, then it's not going to be good when the grid goes down to be around these places. And here you see scientists just found the chemical fingerprint of an undeclared nuclear explosion in Russia. And this took place in 2017. So, okay, we got the same year. We have one that they say wasn't military, and we have one that says, yeah, you know, you can't trust anybody. That's the bottom line. You know, it's the old NASA acronym, never a straight answer, and we don't get it from anybody. And here we see, and thank God it's not an atomic bomb exploding in Croatia. It's just a cloud. But is it a foreshadowing? Let's hope not. Let's hope not. And use our positive intentions there. So we see Scottish government's failure to meet carbon emission target blamed on cold weather. That's kind of funny, isn't it? Really? You know, we understand that obviously the power of the sun is just immense compared to the power of man. Make no mistake about it, we've been poisoning the planet for a long time, and these corporations that run the planet don't seem to care about Mother Nature at all, or any of us, really, when you get down to it. Natural disaster declared after deaths of more than 50 million bees, and this is in Croatia. And this is just another one of these massive die-offs, and bees are critical to the food supply. So pesticide poisoning is suspected. Why can't we just get along with Mother Nature as well and live in harmony? So here comes the Sahara Dust again. Remember the dust storms that we've been getting? Well, there's another one coming. And heading towards Florida, Louisiana, and Texas. Satellite images are verifying this. So just to let you guys know, I remember those when I was in Florida a few years back. And Elon Musk's SpaceX is now building floating spaceports for hypersonic trips around the Earth and flights to Mars. Can you imagine being able to leave Nebraska and be over in the UAE in 30 minutes? 30 minutes. Wow. And they say the Starship can carry around 100 people at a time and could even carry tanks, as we have all this talk of Space Force. Getting ready to do battle against probably positive forces that are out there. SpaceX to build floating spaceports, as we see here on Yahoo as well. And he looks pretty concerned there. I wonder if he's worried about his draconian friends. So, are we alone in the universe? No, we've never been alone. That's truly what I feel and have experienced. Dozens of intelligent civilizations in the Milky Way, so says a new study. Slow disclosure coming. There could be up to 6 billion Earth-like planets in the Milky Way alone. How about other galaxies as well? And can you imagine the technology if some of these are thousands, maybe even millions of years ahead of us? And maybe they're just, there are some out there that are just genetically superior as far as intelligence as well, as we have talked about many, many times before. Yeah, we are not alone. There's no way we're alone. 22 foods you can freeze and how to freeze them as well. I'll have all the links for you guys as always. Bread, butter, cheese, fruits. And I hope everybody is ready and prepared for whatever comes our way. Chocolate, cookie dough, cream. Yes, you could freeze cream too. Eggs, flour, herbs, hummus. I do like fresh homemade hummus. Milk, meat, obviously nuts, pasta. Yeah, you can freeze cooked pasta. I've done that in the past too. And rice and other grains, seafood and fish, of course. Stock, whether it's vegetable, poultry, or beef. Tomato paste, tomato sauce, and veggies, as well as yogurt. Some good frozen yogurt. Guys, thank you so much for your support on Patreon and also on Ko-Fi. You guys are keeping us afloat and helping us to keep reaching as many as possible. Let's send our prayers and best wishes for peace on the planet. May the dark forces that have run this planet be removed from their positions of power. And may true brotherhood, sisterhood, and peace break out. As always, guys, God bless and namaste.